Camera angle so daggone wide, boy.
Oh man. Oh. Something like that.
Hold on. Because it's recording already. Just playing with the background a little bit.
Recording already?
Yeah, you know we coming in hot.
Hey, what's good? Good evening.
You hear me on there? Oh, let me
Yep.
check. Oh,
I hear you.
Here we go. We in there like swimwear.
Hey, should we do our? I know the last time we did that music entrance.
Yeah, I think we just gotta whatever comes to mind. You know, when you feeling good, you got the medicine flowing. So you call it. What we doing? We doing a song? We doing a skit? We doing what we doing?
Dude, right now we could we could do a song. Hold up. You pull up YouTube real quick. What we feeling?
You could put on some Kendrick. I mean, what's going? We gonna hit them with some Kendrick, or we gonna hit them with a turn up song?
I could hit them with
some Bob Marley,
some Bob or some Styles P.
Some Styles P, some Jadakiss.
Damn. He said
Bob Red Man.
Oh man, all these YouTube. I guess I gotta get YouTube Red. All these ads.
Just to let y'all know, full disclosure, we are not doctors. We are not anything. So this is for entertainment purposes and educational purposes only.
Yep. And here we go. Another hit. Oh shoot.
Well, we got to give them a little bit of entertainment, right? This is edutainment. This is edutainment. You're gonna get educated. We have a little bit of, entertainment.
There you go. Hey, and I mean,
that's how we learn best.
Who doesn't love some good cannabis with some good music? Good tunes in the back, and it could be of all sorts.
Got to
everybody got their influences.
Well, we know. I mean, you and I are both in the music industry, entertainment industry, so we know cannabis flows through. Like if you're producing, a song, and you in the studio, or what's going on? Y'all got some treat. Right. Somebody is rolling up. So that's, naturally when the music's then at the finished product, it feels a certain way when you smoking in that,
Right.
That's just part of the culture. It's at the intersection.
I mean, it's just what we are, I got a song. Oh, actually, I'll probably leave it for us to close out, but play in the background. But yeah, good evening, everyone. This is another episode of
Good morning, good evening. We don't know where you are in the world.
Wherever you are. Good day, good evening, good time. Just great times. Great, happy vibes.
It's July 4th weekend in America, so obviously it's a holiday weekend. We're celebrating. I don't know if we're celebrating, but that's part of another topic, right? I mean, sheesh.
Freedom trees, it should be. That's what we should be
Right?
celebrating.
Free them trees, please.
Yeah, free them trees, free because they should be freedom trees, please. Hey.
Everybody's celebrating, getting lit, drinking that tequila, drinking that, that poison. We trying to spread that good joy and good cheer, that health and wellness.
That true, human experience, because that's what life
High
is about.
vibrations.
Yeah.
All
Positive high vibrations.
Yeah, positive, love, light, all those great things. Us as African American males, men, Black, we don't know. We've been told all types of things. We're indigenous to this land, though, we know. So we've been through a lot, but we are spreading that message, that word, that good healing of the cannabis plant, and doing it for those who can't necessarily do it, because we know we got brothers and sisters that are locked up right now while we have legal cannabis being sold and billions of dollars being made, worldwide. So, us as free men, we're speaking out and just opening those floodgates. So, having authentic conversation around the plant. So, I'm your host, Gerald Moore Jr.
Roger Granda, your second host, co-host, whatever you want to call us.
We both host.
Host.
We are both the founders of the Ohio Cannabis Report. The creative directors, the producers, we do it all. You know what I mean? So obviously we have been, and it's a podcast sort of environment. And so, we just love having conversation around the cannabis plant. We love talking about business, entrepreneurship, advocacy, what can be better in our program. Obviously, we know there's a lot of other states that are legalizing. So we definitely can touch on those states. The state up north, Michigan, I'm not afraid to say it because I'm not from Ohio technically. So, we know Michigan is kicking our ass and it's industry. And so, we're just trying to, I had a friend actually come to Ohio. He was going to Cedar Point. And so he literally hit me up. Was like, man, what's up with the cannabis laws here in Ohio? And I was like, we got medical only, man. So if you don't have a card, technically you can't be doing it. You know what I mean? He was like, wow. I was like, yeah, man. It's like
we got medical red tape because technically, in my opinion, and I don't know if you would agree, but I think it's medical for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
The research just needs to be, continued and shown, but a lot of it's already out there that in some way or another, this plant helps eases take off, the pressure from someone's day. And besides that, it can help with other ailments or issues, health issues. And come on now, like most people go to wind off from work or just their weekends and go grab a beer, or like you said, some kind of tequila, poison.
Yeah, taking something, toxic, taking a
pill. Put some toxic in their liver, but then when it comes to
sugar,
yeah, lots of sugar when it comes to actually handling your business, it's not, it's frowned upon with this plant. And in my opinion, God gave it here for a reason. It don't just grow with or without us.
Right.
Nothing.
Clearly, people ain't as holy as they say they are. Because if you don't know that God put this plant here for our healing, our health, our well-being, if you've been, institutionalized and brainwashed to think that, it's the devil's lettuce, it's just you'd be sadly mistaken. And it's very judgmental of folks, to cast stones at folks who are simply trying to live a better life, you know what I mean? Live a healthier life, deal with their traumas, ailments, illnesses, and things like that through the plant. It's a holistic, way of living, besides using pills and, alcohol and certain things. So I think, we have to bring humanity back, right? Like we're human beings, we're animals, but we understand, we have a brain. We understand that health and wellness comes through nature. It comes through healing and all those things. So we just got to get back to our roots, especially as, brown brothers, Black and brown brothers, we know our natural roots is all, that's what we do.
Right. Yeah. Uh, and just back to our natural roots and our natural fruits, because if you
Fruits and
we
veggies.
get back to connection, our connection with Mother Earth, and just being able to grow our own fruits, vegetables, or food and healthcare. I think it'll really connect us in a lot of ways to each other, and just like I said, respect for the earth and how things can be naturally produced.
Right.
Uh, you Part of farming is kind of knowing what's going in farming or gardening period. What's going in the dirt or flowers, whatever you're tending to. What you're putting in it. So
Right.
I think it's beneficial for more people to embrace that and learn about it. That's something like home grow cannabis, legal cannabis home grow. I think something like that would benefit uh, society in a lot of ways in this program.
I mean, and just look what it's doing to other states. I mean, you have one, tax revenue coming in. You're going to see the different health benefits of people. Again, it's just a seismic shift. We're going from really like, we got to understand like Western medicine has been around for, you know, I don't know what, a couple hundred years now, where they've been using pills and, everything's been about, prescription. It's not about, wellness. It's not about healing. It's simply about, let's get you numb and then get you back to work. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want you to take a year off because you're sitting there trying to find yourself, or you're going traveling, or you're doing this X, Y, and Z. So America has always been about production, um, and getting stuff, commercialization, right?
Right,
So, I mean, I think we have to understand like it's a bigger picture of what's going on in the human experiment of what America is, because America is an experiment. And as we've been taught and conditioned in a certain way to not understand that we are a part of this experiment. And so that experiment was to commercialize and to produce. And so we're still commercialized. We're still slaves in a sense, because we're fighting for stuff that, you know what I mean? Like, people fighting for minimum wage. People are
right.
fighting for housing. People are fighting for, basic health care. People are
Ba-
fighting for,
Basic needs or ways of living.
yeah, just having a roof over your head, having good, clean water. You know what I mean? Like, so we really, for me, like, that's why I'm so passionate about the plant. And I try not to get too hyped up, because we have to understand we come from poverty in America, in a country that we built. But then we're still sitting here fighting for our basic human rights on a big scale. You and I have opportunities, but we're still fighting in a way where we like, yo, we at the bottom of the totem pole still, you know what I
Right,
mean? In a certain way, like, we are still fighting, and we're fighting for the people. We're not just fighting for ourselves. We
right,
fighting for those people that don't have a voice, or the people that feel like they don't have a voice or a seat at the table. We fighting for our family members, our friends who, may have been locked up or had something go against them in the system for weed, for a joint. Our uncles, our fathers who have been demonized for the weed, our grandfathers. That's what we really have to understand. And like, this is a mass movement and a call out, because us as men should be the leaders in this movement as well, along with our Black sisters. But
hmm
us as men deserve to have a rightful spot at the table, and we need to build our own table. But when you look at the Ohio industry, we understand how it goes. Like, we are not in a position right now. We don't even have enough people fighting for us to be in position, or raising awareness.
There's not even enough people, like you said, as far as awareness, that even know that it exists. Really,
Right.
they or if they do know, they're like, it's too expensive, and like there's just a lot of like things that this program, negative things that this program has, that patients can rebuttal. I mean, I know plenty of people that even did sign up for it, and they're like, well, by the time I did get signed up and ready to go, I was $500 deep, or I was $300, $400 deep, and then
Right.
about time I go to the dispensary, another two or $300 to actually get what you're really trying to get, or it's worth it if you can afford that, or most people can't. So it's like a lot of people spend all their money that they have to get signed up just to only nickel and dime products just because that's all they can afford. And it's like that's not cool either. And I get, yeah, these companies have to make their monies back, but and pay their investors back. But at the same time, um, why allow the state to create a program that's so costly and not, effective or even affordable for the people? Period. Like, yeah, this is business, but this is only for big business and people that were well off in the first place, not people that are trying to even have the ability to go legal if they had some kind of passion or I hope to chase a cannabis career. It's like right now you either gotta break in with someone and go in and work for someone, or do your best to try to create your own ancillary business. But um that's right now, that's the only way to even get a foot in. I'm not saying it's not an opportunity, but it's just different, just the way the program's set up. I mean, the rules and regulations are set up, and I don't think that that is fair in the sense of making the program thrive or be successful. It could be much better. It could be more enticing to people to get off the legacy market stuff, but let's actually make it for the people. Let's make it designed for the people. Let's
Right.
let's lower the prices. Let's eliminate this day stuff
Well,
and
I think it's
allow
up
it.
to the businesses, right? Like, I think we should challenge the businesses really, like the dispensaries, the cultivators, the processors, to give us better deals because, well, maybe it's the dispensaries. I don't know. But because they're the ones that clearly are in position, you know what I mean, to use and leverage their voices. You know what I mean? Like, if you want, all right, if it's a big business, you should want more patients, right? The more and more patients you can get, the more and more money you can get. So why aren't you fighting on the behalf of the patient to open up the program even more so you could sell and scale more products?
Agree. See, and I think that's where uh you're correct. I think that's where the we have a big gap, where I don't know. I feel like there's some LLCs that may be trying to that are aware of that, and they're trying to push for more patient activity, but at the same time, in what ways, like you said, are we actually trying to or enticing those patients? Yes, lower prices would definitely work, but again, we still lower prices in all areas, not just the products, but the the cost to get involved, the renewal fees. Like, why maybe switch it to 2 years or even 5 years? Why do you got to keep taking money from the sick? The state makes money in so many ways that it's just like, wow, it's kind of sickening, that you
Yeah.
could make this many streams of revenue from this plant that really just grows out in the wild, and but yet, like, you still won't even hear the right voices, like the people that could help make things better. And that, in my opinion, that starts even, like I said, from the dispensary side of things, because that's the front line. That's where both the workers and the patients are being served, and seen and working. They could easily talk to the people, the creators of this program, and provide some better insight on how we could make this thing work better.
Right.
And on top of that, then hear the voices from the operators, the owners, the people that have also been involved in seeing ways things can be improved. I think
Our
that's the way we.
legislators need to go harder too, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they keep making deals to postpone things, but that's
Right. Yeah,
about
man.
it.
I mean, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird here. You know what I mean? Like, it's really weird how everybody kind of just like, I don't even know what it is, especially when you see it's just like you see other states, what other states are doing and how much money other states are making. Like, California's been legal for how long? You know what I mean? You got Oklahoma doing what they're doing, you got Chicago, you got again Michigan, you got New York, you got what DC, Maryland. Like there's so many different examples, New Jersey, of what's going on and what could be done. And it's just like the ignorance and arrogance really of the leadership of, I guess, our state who run, and there's still moratoriums in every suburban community in Ohio. Like that's something that we don't talk about, right? Like, or at least in Columbus, you got all the suburbs like Upper Arlington, Dublin, New Albany, Westerville, Worthington. Um, I don't know all the other ones off the top, but
Wait, are you talking about the outer skirts?
yeah.
So
So there's a
like
moratorium.
Williamsburg,
Mhm.
shoot, you said New Albany, Worthington, Dublin, Powell,
Mhm.
Delaware.
Yeah.
You
So
know, you
there's
got
like, you got to think that if there is a moratorium, because every little city has its own governmental structure, there's no cannabis dispensaries in those
Upper
places.
Arlington.
Yeah, Upper Arlington, I think I said that one. But yeah, so like it's just weird, you know what I mean? It's like they're trying to keep this. I mean, really what it is, I know exactly what it is because I lived in Upper Arlington for a little bit, lived in Grandview. Uh,
Right.
like I've seen it, I've worked in these spaces, coaching, training kids, uh, live close to Dublin. But what it is it's these suburban communities. It's all about an image, right?
Yep.
So they want to give off an image of this perfect little space, and that's just perfect. And like weed to them is seen as, oh, we know what that is. When weed comes in, they know more black people are coming in, right? More brown people are coming in. That's the assumption. And it's also the assumption that, hey, if we have weed around, our kids are going to get more access to weed. Like these kids aren't going to high school smoking weed anyway. We all went to high school. We
Right.
all know that weed starts in high school.
Shoot, I'll never forget my first day at school. I got asked by a kid, just because I was black, do I have any weed for sale? White kid. Never forget it, bro. To this day. I would name drop, but nah, he's still a homie. But at the same time, I'm just like, damn, what a stereotype. First day in high school, I get, just, hey, you got any weed? Never used it in my life at that time yet. But what I will say, not to interrupt, but like speaking on protection of image or just protection of things, I feel like with cannabis is frowned upon, sadly, in certain areas. But then I used to work in the Grandview area. You would still see people of all different backgrounds and ethnicities coming
Right.
in using cannabis, and it's like, wow. I guarantee your children probably don't know you're using it, but you yourself have frown upon it in front of other people and stuff. So it's just like it's pretty tragic how it's in some ways it's frowned upon, but then in other ways it's secretly used or relied upon.
Right. That shit is, man, and I think that's what's so crazy. It's just like how many people really using it in those spaces, how much out, like we're all adults here, right? Like we know there's drugs everywhere. There's pills, there's antidepressants, there's shrooms, there's cocaine. Like we've been in these spaces. Like I'm not saying I've consumed all these drugs, but I'm just saying, like, can we be honest? Can we be open? Can we be transparent a little bit? It's
Right.
weed. You know what I mean? And so it's really, and then to know that the greatest population, the fastest growing population of cannabis consumers is people that's older. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, but they want to do everything on the DL. They want to learn about it on their own time in the DL and don't act like they doing stuff. You know what I mean? Then they're gonna come out and be like, yeah, I got a cannabis business. Oh yeah, I got some CBD. You know what I mean?
CBD.
Yeah, so it's
Counting my blessings daily. Yeah.
I'm a yogi now, and all this holistic spiritual healing, and like we know what it is, and that's why we're at the forefront, and that's why, like, I don't even be worried about what other people got to say, what they doing, because we know what it is. You know what I mean? We know that they're trying to fight against this. We know who's trying to fight against it, why they're trying to fight against it. because there's a certain group of people that's going to lose money. You're going to lose money from alcohol arrest and, all types of stuff. Stuff has been in place to destroy us for the longest, especially in this country. They don't want us to live and thrive and be happy and healthy. And they want us to be fighting. They want us to be sick. They want us to be
Population control.
yeah, they want us to be under control, you know what I mean? And that's why, in school, you always have drug programs and dare, and because it's, I can't keep somebody in line in a factory if they have freedom of thoughts and like, like I'm just being repetitious. What is that's why they're coming out with robots, right? So now everything is just going to be automated. Um, and people are like, well, you're replacing the human being because human beings need to be free to think, you know, and explore. So it's just weird, man. Again, we talk about it all the time. But there's a lot of great opportunities. Like we said, I think that's why we started this platform, because we understand that, hey, this is a platform that's really not that tapped into. A lot of people do have a lot of things to say too. We have realized and come to on our social media pages. Patients aren't happy. And then we know there's a lot of people with ailments and illnesses that don't necessarily want to share their stuff. As far as our community, I think it's hard for folks to share because folks are still on the legacy market. It's hard to cross over from legacy or black market to the legal market when that's your main source of income. If that's your main source of income or a pretty hefty chunk of your income.
And
So
like either that or even opposite, that's your main source of budget for your income, like budget friendly, So it's like
right.
the thing is, what if you budget in your budget only got enough to bi-weekly or weekly get this? You don't have that extra to pay the doctor as well as the state, as well as the dispensaries, that extra stuff to currently get more high tax or less of what stuff as well, I should say.
Right.
Because now they have the nerves to change the size of what the quantities of what you get. Like it's like that shouldn't be affected either. Like why change what's already been done? Like there's plenty of other states that's already given us the guidelines or even some of the outlines of how to set it up. Why not follow suit and just tweak other little things to better that, or what in ways they could have improved it? I mean, you got states out there that was able to provide. They made so much money from taxes and collecting fees from cannabis that they had to
How
give
much?
every citizen
How much have they? How
money.
much product have they sold, bruh? $880 million worth of
Oh
product.
yeah, well that's here in Ohio. But I was just saying in general, I've heard. I mean, I stand corrected if I'm wrong, but I heard at one point at Colorado, the state of Colorado gave their citizens, almost every citizen, um, a check in the mail back just because they made so much money from the cannabis industry. Like
Wow.
how promising is that if a state actually did set the program up properly and did what they need to do. Like that's rewarding. That's how everybody respects, the powerful medicinal benefits and just overall economic benefits of cannabis.
Right.
But it could definitely help change the society too,
And
just
we
in
the
a lot
people
of
just gotta
ways.
speak up. It's we the people, so people have to really speak up and, take control.
We the people,
We the people.
we the people.
You got all this stuff going on. Everybody gets pulled in their separate ways, right? You got, the abortion thing going on. You got this, you got pride, you got this and this. And it's like, when are we all going to come together? I feel like cannabis is the one thing that really should be, the thing that we could all come together on, you know what I mean? For human rights, you know what I mean? Because really, cannabis is human right,
Right.
access to, cannabis. So, it's a human rights issue what's going on that they're preventing people from having access to this plant. Um, when we understand how much pain people in, we understand that people have legitimate illnesses. People, yeah, like you said earlier, everybody can be a patient. You know what I mean? People have PTSD, people have trauma, people get in a car accident, people, roll their ankles, sprain their ankles. Like there's all types of stuff that happens. Kids have seizures that can be, and cannabis can be used. And so really, educating everybody on what's going on in the industry is essential.
Very essential, highly essential. No pun intended, but it really is, to the point where the right education can allow cannabis to be accepted with both children and the elderly. Why can't cannabis be used at nursing homes, or why can't it be used at well, obviously you can't just apply it in school, but what I'm saying, like in a home with a parent being a supervised caregiver.
Right.
There's definitely instances where cannabis may need to be used so that that
Right.
child can have a better quality of life. And in my opinion, that's way more important and effective and desirable than just watching a kid, let seizure or just be in pain in so many other ways due to like the prescription meds not working or causing other harmful side effects.
Hey, it's Boogie, what it do? Yeah, bro, it's wild out here. People really got to speak up. People have to use their platforms, their voices. People have to contact their state representatives. That's something that I've learned just in the short time of really being in the cannabis industry is, that we really have to get involved on that level. So, if we don't reach out to our state representatives, they can't really vouch for us, right? Because they are for the people and they basically vouch for, what sorry about that. It is coming. Oh. So I was just reading something earlier that was telling me how to basically reach out to state representatives. And it's like, introduce yourself, let them know that, hey, I'm your constituent. If you voted for him, if you didn't vote for him necessarily. I keep calling. But we have to understand that our state representatives are the ones that um, that vouch for us. And if we're not contacting them, if we're not emailing them, writing them, letting them know like, hey, we want full cannabis legalization, they can't really go to bat for us.
Right.
And so, doing lobby days, doing different rallies and stuff like that, we got to hit them in all different ways. We got to hit them in the media. So newspapers, obviously we're on new media. So we got YouTube, you got TikTok, you got Twitter, you got Instagram. And so we got to use those different platforms, but then, use our voices, come together and really make a change because, cannabis is going to give people jobs. Cannabis is going to help people, live healthier lives.
It's going to change families' lives. It's going to provide the same. It could provide quality jobs. I mean, it already is in multiple states, but it can provide that same life-changing job that someone else can get in any other industry.
Right.
And if not more in some ways. It just needs to be respected as the form of healthcare that it really is. And it was already been. It's just history tried to erase it, but it repeats itself. So it came back stronger than ever, and we got to keep it that way. Cannabis is medicine. It grows, like I said, with or without us. Definitely reach out to your local politician. That's more power.
And we need to get more of us involved in politics.
Yeah, and then people have to because it's not. I think what it is it can be discouraging in a lot of ways, just because when you say like politics, you think, oh, people in suits,
right, yeah,
rule making. There's just some brief things, but it's just like
it's a
I've
very
talked to
archaic and old and rigid system, so it's hard to be involved in that.
Correct, but the thing is, like you said, we do need to hone our skills in it and learn more about it. All of, especially the younger generation, and I've learned too by talking to a few of the politicians that our voices are powerful, way more powerful than we may know or believe. We just have to know how to use them or put them to use. And uh, coming together for the same great cause is a way to do it. I know there's plenty of other people out there that enjoys cannabis as much as you and I do,
Right.
and not just like on some type of just fun. Or we do it to get high. No, we actually do it to get by and survive daily. Um, we need to put our minds together.
Got that
Our
arthritis,
passion,
man.
huh?
So I got that arthritis. Yeah,
Yeah,
like it's not funny, but it's funny. Like it
no, I
hurts.
know what you
You
mean. I
know,
can,
like like again, like I played ball, man. Like so, when you play football at a high level, like you got a lot of injuries and stuff like that, and that stuff wears on you.
yeah,
And it's just life. We're getting older. Our bodies and joints. Mine may deteriorate a little bit faster than the average because of what I've put on my body, but it's just a real thing. You know what I mean? Like people deal with pain,
right.
chronic pain that some people can't bear it. You know what I mean? It makes people angry and all those different things. So, um,
That's
yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's the thing too with pain. Period. That's the most common condition I want to say, not just here in
Right.
Ohio, but just probably everywhere.
Yeah,
Pain is
everybody's in
sleep.
pain, bro. Like we about to
Yeah,
be in a recession. Like every people work hard.
and
Like it's
the
all
thing
type
with
of
pain, bro, is it's not visible. So
right,
like you can't. How do you tell anybody? I don't care what
right,
color, just period. The human race. How do you tell anybody in pain?
right,
You only need this much to control your pain level, or you get this much for 2 days or a day to control your pain levels. So
right,
this, like what? Like
right.
that makes no sense. But technically it does make sense because we just said Ohio made like 807 million. My bad. Is it profit over patience or patience over profit? Right now it's seeming different. It's just a
It's
more
profit over
control.
people, man, at the end of the day. And again, corporations, I think we pulled this up too. People are still getting drug tested for cannabis. So that's a lot of reason why a lot of people don't speak up, because they don't want to lose their jobs, which is, understandable. But again, that's part of the laws and things that we have to change. Some of these jobs need to change their policies. People, just because people consume cannabis does not mean they're going to be consuming on the clock. It's the same thing with alcohol. If you have a rule that you don't consume alcohol during the workday, which we know people do because there's startup companies where people, they have kegs in the startup companies, they have people go to lunch and have a beer or, go to a networking event. So, but we got to change those rules and laws, man. So, um, we just got
Yeah.
to keep, leading the charge. Um, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode, but please continue to follow us, continue to support the podcast. We getting ready to upload the podcast to all of the streaming sites or, so like iTunes,
Yeah, we
Spotify.
working.
We working on it. So obviously you can catch us here on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know
And,
when we drop new shows.
and
Um,
maybe I do want to shout out before I let this music play too, but maybe they'll sponsors and eventually you've been seeing me rip my torch. Shout out to the Green Tank Industries, this little portable, one of the first portable vaporizers for your concentrates. It's very solid. As a, I believe they're based out of Canada, so let's get them here in Ohio. That'd be dope. Since Ohio does vape loud as well,
right.
But yeah, back to this music. Oh
That's all.
shit. Clayton, ain't no such thing as Satan. Evil is what you make it. Burning bush.
Man,
Hey,
make sure y'all follow us on YouTube.
thank the Lord for that burning bush. Make sure y'all follow us, yo. Ohio Cannabis Report. Broderick Randall Jr.
And with
Second.
us, Gerald Moore Jr. Follow us on Instagram at Gerald Moore Jr. Follow us at Ohio Cannabis Report.
And at making envision moves underscore in between each word. We out.
We outie.
Peace.
Yo, hop on the live real quick.
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.